Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to get started in just a couple seconds. It's so good to see you all. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
You know what else we say this month? We say, be happy, it's Adar. The month of Adar, and we're told to be happy. In the Purim Megillah, the Megillat Esther, it says, La Yehudim hayta ora v'simcha. For the Jews, there was light and joy. And it seems strange to command that we should be happy. On the other hand, sometimes we need to be given permission to let go, to rejoice, to celebrate, and Purim is next week. Of course, we invite you to join us for all of our Purim celebrations, but more importantly, in a world where we have been in a year and plus and a little bit more, where we felt the pressure, the weight of the world, for at least the next week, with Purim ahead of us, we can take a deep breath, and we can enjoy light, and we can enjoy gladness, and we can enjoy honor, and we can celebrate Purim, and we can be happy that it's Adar. So we begin our Shabbat this Friday with the lighting of the candles, bringing light into our midst, a reminder of the light we bring into our lives. I'd like to invite Debbie Feldman and Violet Schlesinger to come forward, please. Candle lighting is on page 2. Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddashanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Please be seated. We continue on page 12. Lechuna ranana, equally rise up and celebrate. Rise up and dance is what it says when Shabbat is coming.
Lechuna ranana, lai 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 lai. maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. Lechu neranena, lai, 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 Adonai, lai, 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 Nahariah, lai, 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 Letzor Yishenu, lai, 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 for all of the wonders in all of God's lights, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechu neranena, lai, 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 Nahariah, lai, 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 Nahariah, lai, 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 Letzor Yishenu, lai, 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 lai.
Lecha Dodi is on page 20. I went to camp outside the Delaware Water Gap in Pennsylvania. It's called Camp Harlem, Harlem with an A, not an E. And we'd gather the entire camp on a mountaintop overlooking, we could see the water gap from where camp was. And we sang Lecha Dodi. And for me, Lecha Dodi captured the arrival of Shabbat. We were all dressed in white, the song leaders were strumming their guitars, the sun was setting, and we were perched on this mountaintop, looking out, and as a community welcoming Shabbat. So as we sing Lecha Dodi, let it place you, someplace special, someplace that to you speaks of Shabbat. And when we sing, take yourself there. As you know, when we get to the last verse, we rise, we face the doors of the sanctuary, and we bow to the left and to the right, and we welcome Shabbat into our hearts. Page 20.
Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor ha'bracha, merosh mikedem nehesu aseh b'machashvatechi la 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 ya la 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 lecha dodi ya la 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 likrat kala ya la 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula boi chala la 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 ya la 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 lecha dodi ya la 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 likrat kala ya la 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela ya la 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 lecha dodi ya la 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 likrat kala ya la 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 p'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 22, right there in the middle of the page, the indented section, Tzadik Hatamar Yifrach, the righteous bloom like a date palm.
Tzadik katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yizkeh shetulim bevet Adonai mechatzrot Eloheinu ya'africhu od yenuvun meseva deshenim merananim yiyu lehagid ki ashar Adonai Tsuri Tsuri velo
The Baruch Hu is on page 28. Please rise.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la lai lai lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai. 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 Yalla lai lai lai.
Ahavat Olam is on page 32. Literally, the words, it's translated as everlasting love, and it could mean that, but it also literally a worldly love. What would it be to imagine a world that was so filled with love that it would be just a different place than the one we live in now? That's a vision, it's a hope, and here's the thing. As naive as it sounds, as fantastic as it sounds, we don't let go of that vision, a hope of a world filled with love.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu, uvkumeinu nasiach bechukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha leolam va'ed, ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeh yomam v'layla, negeh yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olam amin. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta b'ham ve'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 40.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Tehilot, oh sefele, nora tehilot, oh sefele, malchutecha ra'u v'hanecha, bokeya hayam, lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Eli anu ve'yameru, ze
ago, probably like you, I just drifted off to sleep and then my house started shaking. Yep. Why is it earthquakes happen at night? I'm sure they don't only happen at night, but why does it feel like they happen at night? Hashkivenu is a song that captures the fear of darkness. It captures that notion that things happen at night that are beyond our control, and yet we close our eyes in trust to a world and put ourselves into that state of sleep where we're disconnected, and what we trust is that we'll wake up the next day to a morning with light shining and a world renewed. What better sentiment to capture when we gather for prayer than the words of the Hashkivenu? Page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu Lishalom, V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechaim.
Our prayer for healing, the Mishaberach, is on page 253. Take a moment to hold someone close to you in your heart, wishing them strength and healing as we sing our prayer.
Mishaberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Mishaberach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May your hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth and friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mishaberach Avoteinu, Mishaberach Imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
In this room, we are sung to, we are preached to, we sing back, we listen, but sometimes silence is also good. So we continue with the Amidah. It begins on page 46 and continues through to 62. You can rise and either read the words on the pages or think the prayers of your own heart, and when you are finished, you can be seated. Page 46, please rise.
continue with a prayer for peace on page 62, the bottom of 62. Yihiyu l'ratzon imrei fi, Yihiyu l'ratzon imrei fi, V'hagyon libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri v'goali. The words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart, be acceptable before you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Say shalom bimromav, hum ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, ve'imeru, amen.
I've reached a new stage in the life of a rabbi, which is weddings, doing a lot of weddings. And I have to tell you, it's a good thing. I'm not complaining. I mean, it takes up a Saturday night often, but comes with the territory. But what's nice about weddings is I work with adults, young adults, who actually, believe it or not, they want to be there. The couple getting married, that is. Bar and bat mitzvah kids, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't want to be there. But wedding couples, they want to be there. So a couple of weeks ago, I was officiating in a beautiful wedding. Wonderful couple, they were smart, they were thoughtful, they were competent in their careers. And so under the chuppah, they shared stories of their love and their promises to each other. It was beautiful to hear them open their hearts and affirm their core values there in front of, it was a Persian wedding, hundreds of guests. So what was notable about this couple, and music to my ears as a rabbi, was they promised each other to affirm Jewish values. Now, why was it music to my ears? Because they were taking their Jewish identity really seriously. So much so that they incorporated it into their words in front of all these people. And there was actually a sigh of joy from the crowd as they heard them say that. So that phrase, Jewish values, we hear it a lot, but it begs a pretty powerful question. What exactly are Jewish values? And what do you mean when you say it? What did they mean when they said it? What do I mean when I talk about Jewish values? So I want to explore the phrase and unpack, and this will come as no surprise to you if you know me, its complexity, because that's my mantra. It's complicated. So think for a minute, and don't think so hard that you lose track of what I'm talking about, but think for a minute what you mean when you say the phrase, and maybe even later think about it even a little bit more. How did you arrive at your particular values that you call Jewish? What are the sources? And importantly, are your values static, unchanging? Or as you acquire more wisdom, as you experience more things, as you learn more, do your values also change? So let's consider some sources for that vast thing we call Jewish values. At the center, obviously, is Torah, and by extension, the Bible. Now, I've spent my entire career studying that book. Literally, my entire career. I think I know it pretty well. I think I do. So here's what I've learned. It is full of contradictions. And some of the principles in that book are deeply disturbing, and contrary to our modern standards. For example, capital punishment is commanded for a host of minor offenses that, in all honesty, it's not that we would say, oh, they're minor. They don't even register on our list of things where a person deserves punishment. There is a global acceptance of polygamy and slavery in the Bible. And there is the endorsement in several places of actual genocide. Now, of course, there are many more virtuous principles that we ignore to our, I think, communal peril. Care for the poor, the stranger, the foreigner, the widow, the orphan. The notion of the adherence to a principled legal code that does not permit the whims of a leader to make up laws. Care for the earth and for animals. And at the same time, and it's been said by many before me, one can derive contradictory values for issues that exist in our modern society from that text. People pick and choose. One can make a case for the artificial termination of a pregnancy. One can make a case against the termination of a pregnancy. One can endorse, through the Bible, careful environmental stewardship, but you could also find justification for the exploitation of natural resources. I could argue for the exclusive right of the Israelite Jewish people to inhabit the land of Israel, whose boundaries are expansive and defined expansively in some parts of the Bible. And I could also make a case from the Bible for the coexistence of many cultures within that same geographic area, and so on, and so on, and so on. So it's not surprising, it shouldn't be surprising, that a text which has been written over centuries by a host of different authors should capture and reflect a wide range of values. That shouldn't surprise us. So here's my operative principle when I actually read the Bible or explore a Torah portion for the week. And I think this is the true holiness of the text. That the Torah doesn't necessarily, and the Bible doesn't necessarily give us answers, but it poses core questions, key questions that we need to be wrestling with. It helps us develop our values. But the Torah and the Bible didn't end the Jewish conversation about values, obviously, because for the subsequent, more than 2,000 years that have passed since the Bible was declared finished, Jews have been debating the nature of Jewish values. The Talmud has 2,711 double-sided pages that capture the discourse of the rabbis about those values. Each page is surrounded with commentary, spanning dozens of generations, hundreds of thousands of miles of geographic distance, captured on one page of Talmud, a debate about what the values are. Profound and meaningful dialogues. Things like, what does it mean to own property? What are the boundaries of that property? Who's responsible for damages caused by animals, by negligence, by accidental injury? How should husbands treat wives? How should wives treat husbands? What is charity and how should it be collected? Who should receive it? Those are big questions. And amazingly, and you've heard this, if you've heard some of us speak about the Talmud, what makes it amazing is that there's no resolution often to those debates. They're kind of left with us hanging to try to figure out, well, what should we do? And the Talmud doesn't answer that question. And it's a classic Talmudic on one hand, on the other hand. We could look at it this way. We could look at it from that side. We could look at it that way. That's Talmudic logic. It's argumentative, it's opinionated, it's contradictory, it's brain exploding sometimes. It's Jewish, really Jewish. And there are legal codes derived from Talmud. My hero, Maimonides, 12th century, he wrote one. Brilliant. And in Europe, not only did they spurn his codes, they burned his books because they disagreed with what he had to say. Who does he think? Macher thinks he can tell us what Jewish values are. Judaism is also renowned for so-called responsa literature, Shailot and Tshuvot, questions and answers. There are centuries of it. It continues even into our time. Reform, conservative, Orthodox, Haredi Judaism all have responsa literature, Shailot, Tshuvot. I have an ethical or a legal problem or a moral problem. I send a letter to my, or in this day and age, or email to my rabbi for a resolution. Sometimes in the ancient world, letters were sent via whatever messenger they used, human or animal, take days, months to go to the rabbi. The rabbi would write, compose the response. It would take days, months to come back, and it was saved because of the value of the rabbi's answer. Most times, whatever the answer the rabbi gives is binding only on the followers of that particular rabbi, or the rabbi's greatness determines for that rabbi's community. So, for example, polygamy has been illegal in the Ashkenazi community only since the 12th century. It expired, his edict expired in 1987. So have a ball, if you'd like. For Sephardic Jews, it's officially not illegal, technically. So add to that responsa literature, add rabbinic associations who make their decisions about things, schools, rabbinic schools, yeshivot, who have their responses about things, and even some sermons that get promulgated across the Jewish world, these days digitally. But there's one last place where our values come from, which may surprise you, but it's profoundly important for us in this country. And that is the values that we as Jews derive from our encounter with democracy. Democracy. Now, Jews have lived in autocratic, dictatorial societies for generations. At times, those societies were okay for the Jews. We were second-class, third-class citizens. We had status. We were relegated to particular neighborhoods. We had to live in a certain way. We had to dress a certain way. But it was peaceful. That was good enough. But one system of governance, as imperfect as it is, has universally allowed Judaism and the Jews to flourish like no other, and that is Western-style democracy. Now, sure, there have been rough periods. You can point to them. Anti-Semitism has all too often gained a foothold, even in this country. However, in the span of history, in the span of Jewish history, no system of government and the associated values that underlie democracy have been better. None. Democracy has influenced modern Judaism. Reform, conservative, Orthodox, all of us, we have been profoundly affected. And no expression of that democracy has been more influential than this country's democracy. None. And we have to recognize the power of American democracy because you know this country has been a beacon of democracy for 2.5 centuries. And what we also know about American democracy is that it has evolved over the course of those 2.5 centuries. Let's remember how it's evolved. I'm just going to list a few examples. This country, this democratic country, was founded as a slave-holding nation. But we are not. Now we have equality. We went from male domination to the presence of women in all areas of government. We went from private schooling exclusively, or no schooling, to a vast network of public schools that exists throughout the nation. Sometimes we don't even realize what we have. From isolationism as a country to international influence, a force usually for good, something sadly we seem to be squandering these days. In the words of Yehuda Kurtzer, the president of the Hartman Institute, an opinion piece he just wrote this week, he says, American Jews leaned into the core principles of American democracy as vital instruments to keep us equal, protected, and safe among our fellow Americans. We even went so far as to integrate what we saw as American ideas and ideals into our Jewishness, such that our American Jewish values and commitments to liberalism, that's small l, and pluralism reflect a deep synthesis between American Jewish interests and our understanding of what America was making possible for us. So, let's return to my initial question. What are your Jewish values? Don't just say, I accept them, I accept Jewish values. What are yours? I'd love to hear about it too if you want to email me. Have you determined how you got them? How have you acquired them? Sermons, reading, Whose messages resonate with you? What are the major Jewish influences in your life? And then, that's the third question I asked at the beginning, the tough question. How are your Jewish values changing as you evolve as a person? I think it's the most important question. Because our values have to be influenced and modified by new circumstances, by new information, by new learning. You see, I am a firm believer that stubbornness and obstinacy is not a Jewish value. Do you strive to be a constant learner? Are you open to new ideas? Do you intentionally explore ideas outside of your comfort zone? Do you engage in thought-provoking conversations and reading? Do you consciously wrestle with difficult dilemmas? Almost universally, when we clergy speak to people who are choosing to be Jewish, they weren't born that way, they're choosing to become a part of our people, they tell us that what draws us most to Judaism is our willingness to embrace questions and to resist dogmatic, inflexible responses. For Jews, questions lead to more questions. That's a given. And sometimes it takes someone looking in from the outside to remind us of what we have. The true wealth of Jewish peoplehood is not just about our loving embrace of the past. We have that. But it's the way that we incorporate that past into our encounter with modernity, and we use that as a springboard from which we grow and we change to fashion our future. Ken Yeh Ratzon. So may it be. And recognizing the gifts that our country has given us, we always in our services offer prayers for the well-being of our nation on page 258. Please read with me. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit, as we say. Amen. At this point in our service, over the past 450 or so days, we have recalled the names of those held in captivity in Gaza. Your sheet has changed. If you're online, the names scrolling across your screen will also be different. Rather than reading one of the hostages, we've listed them all, praying soon that they will experience freedom and redemption and be in the hands and arms of their loved ones. And at the bottom of your page, separated by the white bar, are tragically the ones who we know have died in captivity, and we mourn with their families the loss that they are forced to experience. And so we sing our song of hope, our prayer for redemption, and extend our hands to our brethren in Israel.
Achenu, our brothers, Achenu, Achotenu, our sisters, Achotenu, Achenu, our brothers, Achenu, Achotenu, our sisters, Achotenu. Wherever you are, whatever we must do, we are always with you. We are with you, our brothers, Achenu. We are with you, our sisters, Achotenu. From the darkness to the light, from the darkness to the light, from the darkness to the light, make everything all right. From the darkness to the light, from the darkness to the light, from the darkness to the light, make everything all right. We are with you.
The word Kadosh means holy. And what makes that word particularly powerful is that holy can be found in joy, can be found beneath a chuppah with the bride and the groom, and holy can be found in moments of sadness and tragedy, and it's any moment that touches us deeply and that lifts us to a place of understanding or a place of emotion that is different from where we are, that is more powerful and deeper and profound. It is a sense of that which extends beyond us, that some call God. So we can shift sometimes back and forth in holy things, from the holiness of remembering and feeling our connection to our fellow Jews in Israel, our fellow citizens of Israel, and then to our own lives and the celebrations in our lives. And we're going to shift in a minute then to the Kaddish for morning. So we do it all within 5 minutes of the service. So now we're at the Kaddish. It's the nature of our service. And we ask people if you're celebrating something, some cause for rejoicing, to let us know. Sheila's on it. She knew what was coming. Happy birthday. Oh, 40, right? Anybody else have anything that they're celebrating? Purim next week. Bring your grandkids to the Purim Carnival. We're going to do a little spiel on Friday night next week. Looking forward to it. Little ribaldry, so to speak, on the bima here. Anybody else? Anything to celebrate? Anything they want to share? All right. Keep it private. But please rise and join us as we celebrate the fact that we're here, we're alive. It rained. There's beautiful snow in the mountains. The grass is growing, and we can look forward to the sun coming up tomorrow.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddashanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidasha mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat lechayim.
I ask the Feldman family to open the ark, which they are going to do as we speak. Go ahead. We continue with the Aleinu on page 282.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol latet gedula leotzer bereshit shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem vegor aleinu kechol hamonam va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umotim lifnei melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'ne'emar V'chaya Adonai Lemelech Al Kol Haaretz Bayom Hahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad.
We continue on page 294. So as I said, we gather to celebrate, and we also gather to recognize those who have lost a loved one and are reciting Kaddish in memory of that loved one, and also those who may be observing the anniversary of the death of a loved one. So first, if you are observing in the first 30 days of mourning for a loved one, would you please rise? And then if you would share the name of that person. And now, if you're in the first year of mourning, would you rise, please? And now, if you're observing the anniversary of the death of a loved one, would you rise, please? Did I get everybody? Yeah, I think so. Please rise as we stand together and recite the Kaddish. Page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
V'alma divarach utei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'vyamechon u'v'chayed l'chol Beit Yisrael. V'gala u'vizman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam.
Almei Almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemir d'kudisha b'richu le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'miran v'ama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send comfort to those who are bereaved and comfort the bereaved among us. Before we sing Oseh Shalom to close, it's always important to thank those who have made this moment possible. All of our production crew, we thank them, and of course our custodial staff that makes this room shining bright for all of us and keeps us clean, our in-person coordinators, Karen, who helped us out in the back, and our online, Emily, who helps us out online to make sure things go well. Thank you, Emily. And to all who help make this possible, and mostly to you for getting here on a Friday evening and to celebrating Shabbat with us and singing with us and being a part of our community. Shabbat Shalom.
We're at the bottom of page 294. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yoshvei Tevel. Oh, say shalom, shalom ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shkoyach.